Somewhere right now, someone is sitting alone staring at their bank account, or a credit card statement, or a business that failed, or an investment that collapsed, replaying the same moment over and over in their head. The moment they said yes when they should have said no. The moment they moved too fast, trusted the wrong person, or just got it completely wrong. And the worst part isn't the money. The money hurts. But the voice in their head is worse. How could I be so stupid? I should have known better. I've set myself back years. I'll never recover from this. If you've ever been that person, if you are that person right now, this video is for you. Because today we're not going to talk about how to avoid bad financial decisions. We're going to talk about something far more important. What you do asterisk after asterisk, you've already made one. And why the decision you make in the next few months, not the mistake you already made, is the one that will actually define your financial future. Here's the belief that makes financial mistakes so devastating. Most people treat their financial life like a test, a permanent cumulative test where every mistake lowers your score, and the score follows you forever. Miss a credit card payment? Minus points. Bad investment? Minus points. Business failure, overspent on a car, took out loans you shouldn't have trusted someone who burned you? All subtracted from a running total that you believe represents your worth, your intelligence, and your future potential. This mental model isn't just wrong, it's actively dangerous, because it causes people to do something after a financial mistake that costs them far more than the mistake itself. It causes them to freeze. They stop making decisions. They avoid looking at the numbers. They put off rebuilding because rebuilding means confronting the wreckage. And confronting the wreckage means feeling the shame again, so they wait. Weeks become months. Months become years. And the real financial damage isn't the original mistake. It's the compounding cost of inaction that follows it. The truth is, your financial life is not a test. It's a game that keeps going, a game where the score resets more often than you think. And where the people who win aren't the ones who never lost around. They're the ones who learned how to respond when they did. Let me tell you about two people who made the same financial mistake. We'll call them Jamie and Sam. Both are 28. Both made what felt like a catastrophic financial decision. Jamie invested a significant chunk of savings into a business venture that failed completely. Sam ran up serious credit card debt financing a lifestyle they couldn't afford, and now owes nearly $15,000 at high interest. Different situations. Same feeling. The ground fell out. Here's where their paths divide, and it has nothing to do with their income, their background, or how serious the damage was. Jamie spent 3 months consumed by shame, couldn't talk about it, avoided financial conversations, stopped contributing to savings because it felt pointless, like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Every small financial win felt meaningless compared to the loss, so Jamie did almost nothing financially for nearly a year. Sam did something different, not immediately. There were a few weeks of panic and avoidance. But then Sam did one thing that changed everything. Sam wrote it down, not journaled about feelings, wrote down the actual numbers. The debt balance, the interest rate, the minimum payments, the income, the monthly expenses, just the facts, laid out on paper. And something interesting happened. The monster in the dark, the formless crushing weight of the mistake, turned into a specific problem with specific dimensions. And specific problems, unlike shapeless dread, can be solved. Sam made a plan. Not a perfect plan, not an aggressive plan, just a clear one. Pay an extra $200 a month toward the highest interest debt. Cut 2 subscriptions. Bring lunch to work 3 days a week. That's it. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that required a financial genius. 18 months later, Sam's debt was gone. 2 years after that, Sam had a small but growing investment account and a much clearer sense of how money actually worked. Jamie, meanwhile, spent that same 2 years slowly recovering from the paralysis. Same amount of time. Completely different outcomes. Same mistake. Different response, entirely different trajectory. Here's the psychological concept at the heart of this. Behavioral economists call it asterisk loss aversion asterisk. The human brain experiences the pain of losing something at roughly twice the intensity of the pleasure of gaining the same thing. Losing $100 feels about twice as bad as finding $100 feels good. This is wired into us. It kept our ancestors cautious and alive, but in modern financial life, it creates a trap. When we make a significant financial loss, whether through a bad investment, a failed business debt, or just a series of bad decisions, our brain enters a kind of threat response. It fixates on the loss, it replays it, it magnifies it, And it tells you that any further action is dangerous because action means risk and risk means more potential loss. So we freeze, we protect ourselves from further pain by doing nothing. But here's what loss aversion doesn't account for. Inaction is not neutral. Inaction has a cost. Every month you don't address high interest debt, that debt grows. Every month you don't invest the compounding that could be working for you isn't. Every month you stay frozen, you're not standing still, you're sliding backward. The brain tricks you into believing that doing nothing is safe. But in finance, nothing is often the most expensive choice of all. There's a second layer to this. It's called asterisk sunk cost thinking asterisk. Sunk cost is money that's already gone, spent, lost, unrecoverable. And the rational thing to do with a sunk cost is to stop thinking about it because it no longer affects what your best next move is. But humans are terrible at this. We keep trying to make back what we lost in the same place we lost it. We double down on failing investments. We stay in bad financial situations because walking away means admitting the loss was real. The money is gone. It was gone the moment the decision was made. Your job now is not to unlose it. Your job is to make the best possible decision with what you have left, starting today. These two ideas, loss aversion and sunk cost thinking, are the psychological combination that turns a single bad financial decision into years of stagnation. And once you can name them, you can start to work around them. So here's what actually moving forward looks like. Not theory, not inspiration, just the steps. Step 1. Write down the real number. Whatever the damage is, say it out loud or write it down. The actual dollar figure, the actual situation. Not the story around it, not the shame attached to it, just the number. A problem with a number can be worked on. A cloud of shame cannot. Step 2. Stop the bleeding first. Before you think about recovering, make sure you're not making the situation worse. If there's high interest debt, minimum payments are not a strategy. They're a slow drain. Even an extra $50 or $100 a month toward the principal changes the trajectory significantly. If the mistake involved a bad recurring commitment, a lease, a subscription, a financial relationship, figure out the fastest, cleanest way to exit. Step 3. Give yourself a 12-month runway. Not 30 years, not, I need to fix everything. Just the next 12 months. 1 year? What does a slightly better financial position look like 12 months from now? A specific debt reduced by a specific amount. A small emergency fund established. One new financial habit locked in. Small, specific, achievable. 12 months is long enough to see real progress, short enough to stay motivated. Step 4. Separate the lesson from the punishment. Every financial mistake contains a lesson. Maybe it's about risk tolerance. Hey, you learned you're more exposed to loss than you thought. Maybe it's about trust. You learn to verify before you commit. Maybe it's simply about the importance of an emergency fund as a buffer between life and debt. Extract the lesson. That's yours. That has real value. But the punishment, the ongoing self-blame, the shame spiral, the identity of person who made a terrible financial decision, leave that behind. It serves nothing. It costs you everything. The mistake happened. It doesn't have to define what happens next. Step 5. Start before you feel ready. Nobody rebuilds from a financial setback feeling confident and optimistic. You rebuild feeling uncertain, a little scared, and maybe still a little ashamed. That's normal. That's how it works. Confidence is not the starting point. Confidence is the result of starting. Make the first move while it's still uncomfortable. That's the whole move. Here's what I want you to take away from this. The worst financial decision of your life is not the one you already made. The worst financial decision is the one you make in response to it. The decision to stop, to freeze, to decide that because you lost ground, the game is over. It isn't. Every person who has ever built something real financially, every person who reached a point of stability, freedom, and genuine wealth has a story somewhere in their past. A moment where it went wrong, where the numbers didn't work, where they made a call they wish they could take back. The difference between them and the people who stayed stuck is not talent. It's not income. It's not even discipline. It's just that they refuse to let the past mistake make the next decision for them. You still have time, more than you think. The math of compounding, the same math that works against you in debt, works powerfully asterisk for asterisk you the moment you start moving in the right direction. Even slowly, even imperfectly. The worst financial decision of your life already happened, which means the best financial decision of your life is still ahead. Make it.